You may be a watch pirate for life and yet never experience in person a Patek Philippe, much more own one for your own watch collection. But you know what? Revelot is offering that experience with the new Revelot Terra, and at the same time, we're going to point out something strange that this watch is doing, and that's not even talking about that amazing lume. Every few weeks, watch pirates hold a secret meeting to coordinate the quote-unquote acquisition of the top pieces in the watch game. Patek Philippe, of course, consistently makes the top of the list even though the owner is one big royal pirate himself. Last meeting though, Revelot practically jumped the list a few ranks with its latest offering, the Terra. It's a new slick and bold Dirty Dozen homage that really embraces the dirty part of that moniker. See, this bronze case really encourages you to apply your own filth without owning an immoral pay-per-view account. But most important of all, it does satisfy that golden high horology look for a dirt cheap pricing. Of course, this comes at a price, but I'm certain many of you are more than willing to pay for it. The first happy customer is this grill size wrist. At 38mm, it's the perfect dimensions for this 6¼ inch cuff. It's got a good height as well, and all of you fancy watch pirates with swaggy sleeves can slide this piece without issues. The buckle here is appropriately matched, anchored on this hybrid rubber and textile strap. One can argue that it would look much better on a full-grain leather band, but at about $300, only drunk pirates would ask for more. Speaking of asking for more, the biggest ask from Revelot is likely this Seagull ST17 movement. When you have to post in your website that you will pick out the best of the bulk from this movement, you know that there's still some reservations against Seagull. But the great thing about that is that Revelot inspects each and every caliber, which is a massive plus that most watchmakers won't even dare attempt. From behind the piece, the strap has this extra usable function, the quick release spring bars. This way, you can switch up the look of your Revelot, with no aches and pain. Yes, I understand that this is based on the Dirty Dozen look, and it's a far cry from a Patek Philippe 5524. However, nothing epitomizes a watch pirate pettiness like an absurd comparison. As far as field watches are concerned, this 38mm case diameter is certainly on the larger side of the sizing range, as most authentic World War II watches are typically between 32 and 36mm in diameter. However, for modern audiences, this 38mm size is quite modest, so Revelot obviously intends to appeal to a wide range of consumers with the Terra. There's also a wide range of strap options, as this comes with a 20mm lug width. This silver-stitched Artem Silklet strap really elevates the look with its texture holding its own against the lovely textured dial. As you all know, color significantly influences your watch choices. A lighter strap on this Terra can create a playful and versatile combination that's perfect for many casual occasions. Another thing to consider is the way the strap attaches to the watch, as this loopless strap tucks away any excess material, creating a cleaner overall look. Another thing to keep in mind is the warm and natural appeal of bronze, which makes it a prime piece for green straps to take advantage of. This Hydroflex strap from Artem Straps makes for a really good combination, although the buckle may clash a little with the case color. Of course, you're free to use the stock Terra buckle and reinstall it in this more premium strap. As a whole, the Terra ticks all the right boxes that enthusiasts like from a microbrand. It's got the specs, the unbeatable price, and interactivity all wrapped up in one attainable package. The same thing cannot be said about the Patek Philippe 5524P. As I use this Revelot, I can't help but keep on coming back to the Calatrava that's 141 times its price point. The numerals used here look very similar to the ones used by Patek, with the proportions against the dial being very close as well. At the 6 o'clock position, we see a sub-dial here that's used by Patek to display the date. That is of course the running seconds feature of the Revelot Terra. Lastly, both watches use a railroad track that references back to the Dirty Dozen look from the British military. That aside, this Patek is 42mm. Yes, the look is similar, but the 5524 is more of a Flieger than a field watch. Another Swiss watch that may come to mind comes from Zenith, the Type 20. This is also bronze and has the typical oversized crown. This oversized crown can also be seen on the Terra, which shows the weirdness of this piece. That's really the strange thing about this Revelot. It's posing to be a Dirty Dozen field watch with its dial setup and dimensions, but it's also masquerading as a pilot watch. Unless if you're a 12-year-old watch pirate that's aspiring to be an aviator someday, this watch seems like it can't pick a lane to play into. Mind you, IWC has this similar issue with some of its watches. It's too small to be a pilot watch, yet it looks like it belongs inside a cockpit rather than between the trenches. You too have your own takes with the Revelot Terra. Benjamin Viz says it's not his style, but for some reason it's giving him some Zelos vibes to it. Andrew Hannum comments that it's a beautiful watch and the lume should be great. He is waiting for a larger version. Random User says it's a copy of the Zenith Pilot. I do agree it's similar, but it's not a copy at all. Lastly, Perfectly Useless comment says that he's disappointed with the Seagull ST-17 caliber and would rather have a Seiko VK movement instead. It's time to examine the Terra a little closer to see the other strange things that's happening within this timepiece. This bronze case is well executed with its vertical brush on the sides and this lovely polished bezel to cap it off. This bezel with its flattened top gives off multiple areas of surface variation while providing this dressy, elegant look. Right now, this has a rose gold tone, but with its tarnishing ability, it will take on a different appearance over time. The buckle will age along with it, so you will have a bit of uniformity as you wear this piece. The strap that it came with is solidly made and really punches above its price. Revelot is known to be a low-margin brand, and this one is no different. Make no mistake though, there's some really good details about this dial. This sand blue version is a winner when it comes to textures. It's got this slight fume going on, but it never detracts from the gorgeous rough surface. I mean, just look at that blue hue inside that golden tone case. Simply wonderful. This alone makes it worth the price in my opinion. These angular hands also match the overall look, rounding out one of its main selling points. The main showcase is of course all of these Lumicast numerals. There's so much volume to it which really delivers a distinct dimensional look. There's a noticeable green tint to it, making it look out of place with all of these blue areas. It would have been nicer if it was blue as well. But all of that is forgiven though, as when there's the slightest of shade, these numerals that's constantly soaking in light will blast you with massive amounts of glow. All of that light is being redirected all over the matted surface, creating this surreal reflection. That's pretty amazing. This lume is applied on other elements too, such as the second hand and the signature of the crown. If we stop the video right there, this would have been one of the best releases of 2025 so far. However, we need to address the strangest part of this watch, the Seagull ST-17 caliber. This is using a budget Chinese movement with a non-hacking seconds hand. I have no issues with the hacking part as it's as useful to me as a guardrail on a plank, but I am fully aware that this is a spec that breaks the deal for many enthusiasts, and I'm pretty sure that you'd be willing to pay extra for a more reliable movement. Look, I get it why the brand chose to go this route. Offering 15,000 variants of this watch at Happy Meal pricing is not exactly something that's easy to do. You need to cut costs where you could and compromise on areas for the sake of offering something amazing. So, in a half-empty, half-full logic kind of way, would you rather have this movement or not have the Terra at all? Yes, it's one of the strangest Dirty Dozen money can buy. Strange that it's got this luxurious look at an insanely low price that it's actually not strange if someone out there would literally buy a dozen of it. Ultimately, you should have known better because Revelot does these crazy things. It shouldn't be strange at all. That is the Revelot Terra. It's an amazing watch. Very nice combination with the blue, sand blue dial, blue strap, and that rose gold toned bronze case. Again, this is a bronze case, so it's going to change due to the patina, but that amazing lume is something to look at, something to experience. But at the same time, it may be a little bit iffy because it's kind of greenish. It would have been nice if it was bluish, but here it's kind of greenish and kind of throws off the color tones there. And it's very obvious that it is a lume element of the watch. But hey, it's a 38 millimeter pilot watch. That's kind of like what IWC is also doing with their Mark 20. But aside from that, you could treat it as a field watch with an oversized crown. But what do you think? Do you like the Revelot Terra? You see, I keep forgetting these model references. But yeah, the strangest thing there, or the weirdest thing, is that seagull movement. Not even hacking. That's kind of like a disappointment there. So comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about the Revelot Terra, and let's discuss maybe in one of the next episodes. We'll be able to field out your comments once again.